Page 50, stand up for Jesus. It's in the key of F major. It's got one flat. It's got a pickup beat on the first beat, coming in on beat 4, 4/4 time. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. We got the dotted rhythm again. 1 and 2 and. You're not in a nice 5-finger position. You're just going to have to check it. Just read the notes, follow their fingering, it's fine. I have a few suggestions on fingering, I always do, but we'll get there. So you're starting out here, thumb, then come up, third finger on F. And this is basically your position for the first line. And the second line, you're starting out there. Actually, it's a position for the second line too. We'll see. So this is basically your position for the first 2 lines. And in the third line, you're starting out there. And then the second measure you have to come over. So I'm recommending, they want the 4th finger on the last A. So you can play a 5th finger on the quarter note A, the first quarter note. And then 4th finger. The problem with their fingering is that puts your little finger on the B flat. Little finger is a short finger. Sometimes you have to do that. We don't have to do that here though. Watch this. On the second measure here, I'm going to do a 4 on the 2 quarter note A's. I'm going to do a 4, 3. So I'm playing the last note in the second measure with 3rd finger instead of 4th. So then I've got 4th finger on the B flat, reach down, and then 4th finger. The only change is I'm using 3 and 4 on the A and the B flat rather than 4 and 5. That's all. To me, that's more comfortable, so that's what I do. And then you're back to this position again. In the left hand, you got the chords. Now, the melody's in the right hand for the most part. Not all, but most part. So you're going to keep the left hand soft. 1 chord, 4 chord. Until the left hand gets melody, like in the second full measure, you have a half note and then a quarter note. That quarter note's melody. So you got to play it the same loudness as you were playing the melody in the right hand. So it sounds like one hand played them all. So you got to play a soft chord and then loud, and get off of the D before you play the F, because it's a different phrase. We want to hear a break in the song. Second line is similar to that. Third line, let's look at the third line. We're starting out with a 5/7 chord. And then we got this mess coming up. The last 2, the 8th notes there in the second measure, there, the third line, they want you up here. For some reason, I find that awkward. So I'm going to suggest you do a 1, 2, 3, and then a 1. Then a 2, 4, and then a 3, 1. There. Because if I hear, I'm in position for the rest of it. So that's what I'm going to do. Now it's a little tricky when you put the hands together because the 2 hands are doing different things, because you're here. You have to work them out one hand at a time till you're reasonably comfortable, and then when you put the hands together, you get to basically start over again trying to learn it because they don't want to work together. So you just slowly work it out. Just forget the rhythm. Just try and get the notes. And when you get the notes reasonably well, then you can start putting the rhythm back in. A little tricky. And then the last line in the left hand is not a problem. Dynamic wise, this is a call to action. It's a fairly loud piece. I want you to know it and you can play it, then you can vary that loudness according to how you feel it. But basically it's all loud. We need the pedal to help us out with some things that the arrangement isn't allowing us to do. Look at this beginning. In the right hand you have a C to an F. That's fine. In the left hand you have a 1 chord. That's fine. Put them together, that's not fine anymore. Because the C the right hand's playing is needed in the chord. Well, that means I can't connect the C and the F. Because I got to get off the C early so the left hand can play the chord in time. See, there's a break there in the sound. And this happens in several places, the same thing. So, what I'm recommending, since we're using pedal, is we pedal the first note. Rather than, they're saying push the pedal down after you play the left hand, the whole note, push the pedal down. I'm going to suggest you push the pedal down with the pickup note. Because that way I can connect the sound. The pedal does it for me. Problem solved. And then in the second measure it's overlapping here. So I'm going to play the notes first and then change the pedal. And I'm going to lift the pedal when I play the quarter note in the left hand. I want to release all that sound. It's by itself, and then lift up. Last measure, push the notes down, then the pedal, and lift the pedal with the hands because it's a new phrase. We want some silence before we go on. But we have the same problem we had at the beginning. So you're going to have to pedal that note. So after you play the last note in the first line, push the pedal down right there. And keep it down. So the second line is pedaled the same as the first. That's not a problem. And again, at the end of the second line, we got the same problem. So we need to pedal that note, the last note in the second line, push the pedal down. But in the third line, lift the pedal up when you play the third beat. Because we don't want to blur that. Nuh-uh. Then the second measure, third line, push the notes down, then the pedal. And lift the pedal at the end of the third beat before you play the fourth beat, because it's a new phrase, we want some silence there, so it's here. So it's 1, 2, 3. Now it almost sounds like a staccato, in a way it is, but don't make it too short. It's not real short, it's just silence. Just cut a little bit short. 1, 2, 3. And then in the last measure of that line, push the notes down and then the pedal, and then overlap it to the quarter note. That is, push the quarter note down and then change the pedal. And then you're going to have to pedal the last note again, but lift the pedal up so we get a little silence after the fermata. So it's the last note measure, the last measure is here. 1, 2, 3, hold. And then push the pedal down immediately so we catch the C. And then legato pedal the Amen. Push the notes down and change the pedal. But before the Amen, that indeed, the deed, there, the third to the last measure, lift the pedal up with the hands so we get a break in the sound. It doesn't matter if we're going to repeat or go to the Amen, we still want to break in the sound. And that's the pedal. It's a little tricky, and I did go over it pretty quickly, so you may have to review that a few times. I got to learn to slow down, but I get my rhythm going, and I just keep going on that. Let's try this slowly together so we can double check the pedaling and the fingering and the notes and the rhythms. So the right hand is here, the left hand's here, foot's on the pedal. 1, ready, go. Repeat. 2, 3. Hold. 2, 3. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. Off.